Hello guys, welcome to mathematics classes by Nikita. So we were doing the exemplar which is based on the chapter 1 sets, and in the last video I have done the question till question number 6. So let's start with question number 7 and let's see how many questions we can complete in this video. So question number 7 says, given that n is equal to 1, 2, 3 up to 100, then write number 1 the subset of n whose elements are even number. So you have to write that subset of n which contains even numbers only. So subset की बात हो रही है तो मतलब कि जो subset means element should come from n, but they are satisfying the condition that they should be even number. So question number 7, first part, it is given that n is equal to 1, 2, 3 up to 100. Now I am letting for the first part, let that subset be equal to. So let A be equal to. So first let us write the set builder form of that subset. So it contains all those x such that x is coming from the set n and x is an even number. So this is the condition on x. Now can you tell me what is this set equal to? So this will contain all the even numbers from the set n. So therefore this is equal to 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 and up to 100. So last element is 100. So 100 से पहले क्या आएगा? 98. So like this. Okay. Now next part. The second part says that you have to find the subset of n whose elements are perfect square numbers. So let b equal to. So we have to find all those y such that y is coming from n and y is a perfect square. Now can you tell me what is a perfect square? So perfect square are those natural numbers which can be written as square of some natural number. For example 4. So 4 is a perfect square because 4 can be written as 2 square. Similarly 9. 9 is equal to 3 square. So these numbers which can be written as square of some number is known as a perfect square. Now the roster form of b will be equal to. You have to find the roster form of b. So my suggestion is start with 1 and start with 1, 2, 3 and so on and keep taking their squares. But the condition is that their square should belongs to n. For example, I let start with 1. Then 1 square is 1. Then 2 square is 4. And keep checking whether these squares belongs to n or not. Then 3 square is 9. Then 4 square is 16. Then 5 square is 25. Then 6 square is 36 and so on. Okay, then next 7 square is 49. Then 8 square is 64. Then 9 square is 81. And then 10 square is 100. And then if I take 11 square, I will get 121. But 121 does not belongs to n. And you can see that y is coming from n. Okay, so I will close the set here. So these elements belongs to b. Now let's see question number 8. Question number 8 says that if x is equal to 1, 2, 3, if n represents any member of x, write the following containing all numbers represented by. So now you have to write a set whose elements are represented by, the first part is 4n, but keep in mind that n is coming from x. Okay. आपको जो सेट मिल रहा है it need not be a subset of x. The only condition is that this small n is coming from capital X. Okay, so what is given to you? Question number 8. So x is given to be 1, 2 and 3. So first part, so let a equal to. So basically I want to find all those x such that x is equal to 4n and n is coming from capital X. And note that small n can take the values 1, 2 and 3 because n is coming from X. So what you will do, just substitute the value of n equal to 1, then 2 and then 3. So if n is equal to 1, my small x will be equal to 4. If n is equal to 2, I will get 8. If n is equal to 3, I will get 12. So this is my set A. Now second part, it is given you have to find the set whose elements are represented by n plus 6. So let B equal to all those y such that y is equal to n plus 6 and n is coming from capital X. Okay, so therefore what is this equal to? So substitute the value of n equal to 1 you will get 7, n equal to 2 you will get 8, n equal to 3 you will get 9. So this is your set B. Now third part, so let C equal to all those A such that A is equal to n by 2 and n is coming from capital X. So this will be equal to, when n is equal to 1 you will get half, when n is equal to 2 you will get 2 by 2, when n is equal to 3 you will get 3 by 2. So this set becomes what? 1 by 2, 1 and 3 by 2. Okay, now next part, fourth part says that you have to find all the elements whose elements are represented by n minus 1. So let D equal to all those B such that B is equal to n minus 1, n is coming from capital X. So this will be equal to, put n equal to 1 you will get 0, put n equal to 2 you will get 1, put n equal to 3 you will get 2. Okay, so this is the set whose elements are represented by n minus 1. Now let's see question number 9. So question number 9 says that if y is equal to 1, 2, 3 up to 10 and A represents any element of y, so small a represents any element of y, you have to write the following sets containing all the elements satisfying the given conditions. So same as above, but now the conditions are changed and y, the set y is given to you and A is any element of the set y. So question number 9, y is given to be 1, 2, 3 up to 10. So first part says that you have to find the set whose elements are represented by, that A is coming from y but A square does not belongs to y. So let A equal to, capital A equal to the set of all those A such that A is coming from y but A square does not belongs to y. Okay, so let's start with each element of y. So what happens if A is equal to 1? If A is equal to 1, then A square is equal to 1 but it belongs to y. 1 belongs to y. So this implies that 1, A was 1, so 1 does not belongs to the set capital A. Now what happens if A is equal to 2? Then A square is equal to 4. Now 4 also belongs to y. So this implies what? That 2 does not belongs to A. Now what happens if A is equal to 3? Then A square is equal to 9 and 9 belongs to y. So this implies that 3 also does not belongs to A. Now what happens if A is equal to 4? If A is 4, then A square is equal to 16. Okay, is 16, but 16 does not belongs to y because y contains elements till 10. So this implies what? That 4 will belong to A. 4 will belong to A. And in fact, for any number greater than 4, its square will not belongs to y. So note that for all A greater or equal to 4 and a less than or equal to 10, a square not belongs to y. Okay, therefore the set A is equal to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So this is your set A. Now the second part. So for second part, I am letting the set B as that it contains all those A such that A plus 1 is equal to 6 and A is coming from the set Y. Now note that the condition is given that A plus 1 is equal to 6, and this is what? This is a linear equation in one variable and the variable is A. So from here you get that A is equal to 5, and therefore there is only just one element which satisfies this condition. So therefore B will be equal to singleton 5. Got it? Now the third part, I am letting the set C to be all those A such that A is less than 6, A is less than 6 and A belongs to Y. So just find all the elements which are less than 6 and they are coming from Y. So they are 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Very easy. Okay. To question number 10. So question number 10 says capital A, B and C are subsets of the universal set U. If A is equal to this set, B is equal to this and C is equal to this, and U is the set of all whole numbers. So you know what are whole numbers? Whole numbers start with 0, then 1, 2, 3, 4, so on up to infinity. So basically whole numbers are not but the set of natural numbers together with 0. You have to draw a Venn diagram showing the relation of U, A, B and C. Okay. Question number 10. So what is given? U is nothing but the set of whole numbers. A is given to be 2, 4, 6, 8, 12 and 20. B is equal to 3, 6, 9, 12 and 15. C is equal to 5, 10, 15 and 20. So first of all, in order to find their relationship, you have to find the common elements between AB, BC, AC and all the three sets A, B and C. So what is A intersection B? You can see that the common elements between A and B are 6, then you have 12, 6 and 12. Then what are the common elements between A and C? So between A and C, I can see only one common element and that is 20. Now what about B and C? So B intersection C is equal to only one common element and that is 15. Okay, right? And what is A intersection B intersection C? A intersection B intersection C. A intersection B is already there. Now take its intersection with C. So you will get A intersection B intersection C is actually an empty set. So this is equal to 5. So this is how we write the empty set. Now let's draw the Venn diagram. The universal set is represented by the rectangle. So basically the area of this rectangle is the universal set. Okay. Now next I will draw 3 circles. So let this be equal to U, this be equal to A, this be equal to B. Now you have to draw the third circle in such a way that the intersection of A, B and C is empty. So look the way I am drawing the circle C. So I'll start from here, this point, and I will draw the circle like this. So this is your circle C. Now let's write the common elements of A and B first. So they are 6 and 12. Okay, now what are the common elements of A and C? A and C के अंदर एक ही common element and that is 20. B and C only 15. Write the remaining elements of A. So 6, 12 and 20 are already there. So I will write 2, 4, 8. Is it fine? Then write the remaining elements of B. You can see that 6, 12 and 15 are already there. So I will write 3 and I will write 9. Now the remaining elements of C, 15 and 20 are already there. So I will write 5 and I will write 10. ठीक है, and this U is nothing but the set of whole numbers. तो यहाँ पे आप बाकी whole numbers लिख सकते हो, but you cannot write all the whole numbers, so just write U is equal to W. So this is the Venn diagram. So in this you have to just keep in mind that the intersection of A, B and C is empty. Okay, और अगर आप by chance intersection दिखाते भी हो A, B, C का, then don't put any element in it or just write it is an empty set. Now next question. Question number 11 says that let U be the set of all boys and girls in a school. So U is what? The set of all boys and girls only. G be the set of all girls in the school and B be the set of all boys in the school. And S be the set of all students in the school who take swimming. Some but not all students in the school take swimming. Very important. Some but not all students in the school take swimming. You have to draw a Venn diagram showing one of the possible interrelationship among the sets U, G, B and S. Now note one thing. U is given to be the set of all boys and girls in a school. So can I say that the union of G and B is equal to U? Yes, because G is what? The set of all girls. B is what? The set of all boys. और उनका union क्या आ जाएगा? U. So in question number 11, note that G union B is equal to U. And also the intersection of G and B is equal to phi, because no girl can be a boy and no boy can be a girl. Now let's draw their Venn diagram. So this is how I will make the Venn diagram. So what I have done, I have this was my universal set. The rectangle was my universal set. So I have partitioned this set into two rectangles. So this is my set of girls and this is my set B of boys. So their intersection is empty, nothing is common. And we know that some but not all students in the school take swimming. So I will draw a circle in between. So this is the set S, which is the set of all students who like to take swimming. So some girls take swimming and some boys take swimming. But there are some students who don't take swimming. Okay, so this is the Venn diagram. So I hope you understood this concept. Now let's see the next question. For all sets A, B and C, you have to show that A minus B intersection C minus B is equal to A minus B union C. Now there is a printing mistake here. Here I should have, this should be A minus C. So note that this should be A minus C. So let us prove this. Question number 12. So what you have to show? We have to show that A minus B intersection with A minus C is equal to A minus of B union C. So basically we will show that LHS is contained in RHS and RHS is contained in LHS. So first we show that this is contained in A minus B union C. Start with any arbitrary element X. belonging to A minus B intersection with A minus C. So this implies that x belongs to A minus B. intersection है तो मैं and लिखूंगी and x belongs to A minus C. And from here I get that x belongs to A and x does not belongs to B, bracket, then and x belongs to A and x does not belongs to C. And this can be written as, since x belonging to A is common, so x belongs to A and x does not belongs to B and x does not belongs to C. Okay. And this implies that x belongs to A and now x does not belongs to B and x does not belongs to C. This implies that x does not belongs to B intersection C. And this implies that x belongs to A and x belongs to B intersection C complement. Is it fine? Now here you have to apply De Morgan's law. So B intersection C whole complement is B complement union C complement. So therefore I will say that x belongs to A and x belongs to B complement or x belongs to C complement. And from here what you get, x belongs to A and x does not belongs to B or x does not belongs to C. And this implies what? So this implies that I get that x belongs to A and x does not belongs to B union C. So x does not belongs to B or x does not belongs to C. And this implies that x belongs to A minus B union C. So this is what we have to prove. So hence one way is proved that A minus B intersection with A minus C is contained in A minus B union C. So mark this as 1. Now conversely we show that, so now we will show that A minus B union C is contained in A minus B intersection with A minus C. So start with any arbitrary element, say y, coming from A minus of B union C. So this implies what? Y belongs to A and y does not belongs to B union C. This implies y belongs to A and I can write this as y belongs to B union C whole complement. This implies y belongs to A and y belongs to B complement intersection with C complement. And from here you get y belongs to A and so intersection है तो क्या आ जाएगा, y belongs to B complement and y belongs to C complement. Now can I write this statement as y belongs to A and y belongs to B complement in one bracket, and then again I am saying y belongs to A and y belongs to C complement. And the reason is since A intersection A is equal to A. Okay, and this implies what? From the first bracket you get that y belongs to A minus B, or if you want to write it in a more clear view, so y belongs to A and y does not belongs to B, then and y belongs to A and y does not belongs to C. So from the first bracket you get this, and from the second bracket you will get that y belongs to A minus C. क्योंकि दोनों के बीच में इंटरसेक्शन है, सो y बिलोंग्स टू a माइनस b intersection with a minus c. So hence what we get, that a minus of b union c is contained in a minus b intersection with a minus c. Mark this as 2. So from 1 and 2. So from 1 and 2 we get that a minus b intersection with a minus c is equal to a minus of b union c. So hence we have proved this. If you have any problem, please mention in the comment section. I will definitely give you the solution in the next video. Now let's see next question. So determine whether each of the statement in exercise 13 to 17 is true or false and justify your answer. So question number 13. So in 13 you have to see whether it is true or false. For all sets A and B, A minus B union with A intersection B is equal to A. See, either you can just see, just पहले आप वेन डायग्राम से देख सकते हो क्या ये ट्रू होगा कि नहीं. So from the Venn diagram I can see that this is true. Suppose this is my set A and this is my set B. What is A minus B? So A minus B is this portion. And what is A intersection B? A intersection B is this portion. And if I take their union, I will get whole of the A. So now let's prove this. So I will say that it is true, and the proof is as follows. So consider the LHS. So LHS is equal to A minus B union with A intersection B. Now A minus B can be written as A intersection B complement. Okay, you all know this. Now this thing can be written as A intersection with B complement union B. So this was the distributive law. So both ways I can use it. And what is A intersection? Now what is B complement union B? This is equal to the universal set. So since B complement union B is equal to U. And what is A intersection U? It is equal to A, which is equal to RHS. So I have proved this. Now question number 14. For all sets A, B and C, check whether A minus B minus C is equal to A minus B bracket then minus C. So this is basically what? This is the associativity of difference operator. But you will see that it is not associative. So let's draw the Venn diagram first of all. So let me draw 3 circles. So this is your set 2 and I am saying that this statement is false. So this is A, this is B and this is your C. Now first of all, what is B minus C? Now B minus C is all the elements in B which are not there in C. Okay, so B minus C will be so this is your B minus C. So just write that this green portion is B minus C. Now what is A minus B minus C? So let me change the color. All the elements which are in A but not in B minus C. A के अंदर तो है but B minus C के अंदर नहीं है. तो it will be equal to A के मेरे को सारे एलिमेंट लेने बट B माइनस C के नहीं लेने. So this is your A minus B minus C. So this yellow portion is A minus B minus C. Now So this diagram for LHS. Now let's draw the Venn diagram for RHS. This is U, this is A, this is B, and this is C. So first of all, let's find what is A minus B. Now A minus B means all the elements which are in A but not in B. तो मुझे B के elements नहीं चाहिए but A के चाहिए. So therefore it will be equal to this set. So this is your set A minus B, which is colored in green. Now next I want to find what is A minus B minus C. That means I want all the elements of A minus B but not in C. So therefore it will be equal to with black. तो ये जो है आपका A minus B but not in C. So this shaded in black is A minus B minus C, and you can see that both LHS and RHS are not equal because of this portion. So LHS contains this portion whereas RHS does not contains this portion. So note that LHS is not equal to RHS. So hence the given statement is false. Now next question, question number 15. For all sets A, B and C, if A is contained in B, then A intersection C is contained in B intersection C. Again very easy. So it is true. So let's prove this. Let's prove this. So what is given? So given is that A is contained in B. And we want to show that A intersection C is also contained in B intersection C. To start with any element X in A intersection C. So this implies what? X belongs to A and X belongs to C because intersection है. Now from here, since A is contained in B, तो ये वाला जो X A के अंदर है कि कहाँ चला जाएगा? B के अंदर. So this implies X belongs to B. And वो as it is रहेगा X belongs to C. So write the reason. Since A is contained in B, and this implies what? That X belongs to B intersection C. So therefore A intersection C is contained in B intersection C. So hence we have proved this. Now next we have question number 16. Question number 16 says, for all sets A, B and C, if A is contained in B, you have to show that A union C is contained in B union C. So again it is true. So we will prove this. So what is given? That A is a subset of B, and you have to show that A union C is contained in B union C. So start with any element in A union C. So let X belongs to A union C. Now this implies since you have union, so I will have OR. So X belongs to A or X belongs to C. Now this implies A is contained in B, so I can write this as X belongs to B or X belongs to C. And the reason is A is contained in B. And from here what I get? That X belongs to B union C. So therefore A union C is contained in B union C. So we have proved this. Now question number 17. Now question number 17 says, for all sets A, B and C, if A is contained in C and B is contained in C, then A union B is contained in C. So again it is true. So once you understand the concept thoroughly, you can directly tell whether the statement is true or not. Okay, so what is given? So given is A is contained in C and B is contained in C. And we have to show that A union B is contained in C. So start with any element. x in A union B. So let x belongs to A union B. Apply the definition of union. So this implies x belongs to A. Union है तो और लिखेंगे, और x belongs to B. Now A is contained in C, so I will write x belongs to C. B is contained in C, so instead of this I will write x belongs to C. Now write the reason. Since A is contained in C and B is also contained in C, and from here we get what? That x belongs to C. So therefore A union B is contained in C. So I'm stopping here. Remaining questions I'll be doing in the next video, because otherwise the video will be too long for you to watch. So we will do gradually. धीरे धीरे समझ के सारे क्वेश्चंस करेंगे, बट आई रिक्वेस्ट यू ऑल टू प्लीज़ प्रैक्टिस योर सेल्फ ऑल्सो. आफ्टर जस्ट वॉचिंग द वीडियो, टेक योर पेपर एंड पेंसिल, start again. Just open your exemplar notebook and do each question. So don't watch the video again and again. Okay. So thank you for watching my videos. Please like and subscribe my channel. Goodbye.